Loser bracket final now between Gen 5 Komai. It's a huge game to play for. So winner. It doesn't even make any sense.
We've only seen it once, haven't we?
Zacian, Talon, Mewtwo, Urshifu, and Psyduck against Koopa, Lapras, Espeon. What you got me? Metagross and Mimikyu. Again. You got me. They're not available. Unlucky Gatlu.
Yeah, I was interested if there was going to be anything interesting going center for Komai, but it is just going to be the Mimikyu.
I hope Switch 2 comes on time. I already know. Like, I'm gonna get it delivered, and then it's gonna be like they downed the delivery person, which happens. They don't ring your bell, and then they just pretend like no one was home, and they bring it to some station, and you have to pick it up next day. I already know that's gonna happen. It always happens. When I want something, when I especially want a package,
not very strong.
They never ring and they just pretend like no one was home. It's rare. Every time I actually want something, it's important. Like, I already see it happening on the Switch too.
So much damage there, so,
I think it's gonna be on the store. I have no idea actually. No idea. Might be hard to get them in store on release day, right?
They've got the blue buff, but no red buff, which I'm assuming went to the Hoopa up in the top path. That's my best guess. And, there's going to be hard to aggress. It did go to the Hoopa.
Best of 5 again now.
That's always going to be a scary thing to deal with. But
I'm going to play 120 FPS besides Gatlu.
Though actually they're doing quite a bit of damage here to
Potato Metagross now.
Barely escaping. They're showing some dominance up
and
here.
even Potato doesn't play Garchomp anymore.
That's the benefit of having
Garchomp is over, guys.
Next to you. You can either surf them out, or if you have your
Garchomp is over.
Gauge, fully
I already
unloaded,
paid for my Switch, so I assume like I did everything right?
Definitely a great supporter.
I think I already paid for it.
We actually see that Cupfu heading into the central area there. Definitely looking to get that level 5, and now we have a Shifu. Okay, I was going to say, I'm wondering if it's the Water Bear or whether it's the Dark Bear here. We do have the Trusty Secure of that Wicked Blow.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Secure on the side of Gen 5 now. They've got 3 Pokemon with strong Secure, so definitely they're going to be wanting to go for a lot of objectives. But right now, the ones being
if Komai gets second place now today, it would be crazy with how the day went. They were so close of being out into maybe second place. That'd be crazy.
Just try and stay up. But they realize, I don't think they're going to be able to defend that all that
well.
Goal zone won't go down. Again, though, we're seeing 12 points on the Hoopa that just weren't scored. They're leaving it 4 stats, which is pretty interesting. And that's their highest priority, as we're going to see teleport back.
Yeah, the hyperspace hole to go and get that reset for Potato, who was able to get in those singular dunks in. Gonna pop that gyro ball, unable to secure themselves a KO, as we do have these Swabus and Altaria spawning on up.
And we're not even going to challenge it. Megu being so low says, I'm just going to take all of the other
Same your Pokemon Nintendo Pro player needs Switch very badly.
Anyway, barely escapes. Barely. That was like one hit.
When you give them a signature on the store or something, surely they would do it.
And even the passive for Psyduck was such a good supportive tool. Psychic to just go and push back. That
local legend right here. I'm a local pro player, guys. Local legend.
Incredible to go and save Megu there.
And that's going to be pretty free.
But he got level 9 though, but he didn't get objective.
Separate objectives from
both sides.
Both definitely.
Metagross Unite! Metagross Unite! Completely bugged out, but he's somehow. Okay, it went wasted.
As Megu's going to go down as well. That Regieleki not going to barely
what is Unite?
Where it spawned. No chance of making it back in there. Great defense. Everybody was able to rotate to deal with that very, very easily. Once again, hyperspace hole Hoopa. It's, while it's rarer nowadays, which is a weird thing to say, still, I mean, one of the strongest Pokemon in the entire game.
Yeah, it just provides so much maneuverability between that top and bottom path wherever you are needed. And I think the thing for Gen 5, they have 0 points on the board. They really need to try and prioritize breaking one of these goals to stop the
But aren't you rich tournament player, Gatlu? Like, come on.
That's always going to be huge when they have
aren't you a rich pro player?
Get rid of it. But also, I'm assuming there's probably some stacks that they don't have on their team. They've got a pretty aggressive team. When they're going to have to team fight, they're going to have to really commit and go in. Obviously, no true healer. But so far, they're just taking so much damage before they even get a chance to go in. A lot of it is the damage from Zontae.
I wonder how many people can even live off Unite.
Absurd so far.
Is it only me? I mean, Jake would not be able to live off Unite anymore.
I mean, it's a lot.
I mean, he doesn't even do full Unite either anymore, so.
Yeah, it is very melee based.
We can even still make a little bit life out of Unite.
I mean, we have 3
Maybe Overlord, 'cause he wins stuff?
numbers
I don't
on the
know.
side of
AG, I don't know if they pay
Metagross
them.
at level 11. No double digits so far at Gen 5.
I don't even
So
know,
they are
man.
falling quite behind. No points.
Crazy.
And unable to secure wild Pokemon either. So
Maybe no space good,
we're
I have no
definitely
idea.
going to have to come up with these strats, considering we have both of
Bagato
these
says he's studying, so...
spawning at pretty much the same time.
And he can't afford a
If all
laptop and a
else
Switch
fails,
too?
They are going to have the advantage of the rip and flip. And I think
Not
that may be
anymore?
what they're gonna
Oh
have to
no,
do if they
bro.
don't
Not
find a good way to
anymore?
catch up, because they are pretty significantly
Oh,
behind right
7.
now. Still 5 minutes left, so there's plenty of time. And I do think that they should be trying to just really go for these objectives. They know they're going to get the control on it. Even if they go down, I mean, be able to get some EXP.
Ooh, nice snipe, Xanti.
And of course, all that
And he dodges
secure,
Urshifu
side
Unite
shot
as
is
well,
amazing
and he gets
secure
him.
as well. Zante just looking like such an MVP between this
He
set
got like
and
2k a
the
month in
last set.
2023?
This just
Oh, damn.
demonstrates Zante prowess.
Huge.
As an attacker, I mean, obviously we saw them on the Pikachu, Espeon. They're such a great long-range
Unite,
attacker
that's
as
pretty
well. But
insane.
as I say that, they do end up getting taken down. We do have to play with me straight onto Snow. They do end up surviving and looking to go and hunt this Hooper down.
Yeah, that's a surprise to see Espeon go down. Espeon usually is going to be
How do
pretty
esports
good
companies
at
get
getting
money?
that escape, but,
Sponsors,
again, this
usually.
is a really aggressive team.
But now, I mean, now it's different. Now it's like
it's gonna be
NFT
really hard
org
for them
stuff,
to
so I don't know
escape.
where they get
And
their
I do
money
think that
from.
one of
Like,
the biggest issues for the side
no
of
idea,
Gen
man.
5 is going to be dealing with this Metagross, who's by far the
but usually
highest
sponsors,
level
but
game.
esports
And
is a
their
losing
advantage
business
is a
for
lot of
organizations
physical,
usually.
and I'm just not
Baking
sure if they
esports
have
org is
the
just
ability
losing
to
money.
kind of out-sustain it if they don't
That's how
get
it
in
goes.
one
It's
go
either like a
first.
passion
But if
project
they
or
do,
like anything
I
either
said,
they just
everything
hope,
at
but
that,
like
there's so many other threats on the side of Komai
esports
Esport.
teams kind of lose
I don't know,
money.
I think it's gonna
Maybe
be tough,
there's some
especially
who
when they're sitting
gain.
at 0 points.
I know, I
So
think like
you're
Team
saying
Liquid
that they're
does
gonna have
pretty
to
well.
Whole kitchen
yeah.
sink at this
Most
Metagross in
esports
order
organizations
to
just lose
try
money.
and make a comeback. Well, one thing they are throwing the kitchen sink at is going to be this Regieleki. Komai Esports aren't actually going to contest this. They do still have quite a healthy pad with no points going on in. So able to defend it as we do have 2 other members breaking that bottom T1 pad.
Ooh, that was really smart. They just sent people to break the gold zone, get themselves more points, teleport them back up immediately because they still have the tier 1. Now they're going to do a pretty dang good job of dealing with this fight. 2 going down on either
It's very
side,
hard to make
but,
esports
it's more than
organizations
enough, I think, that it's
profitable.
not gonna
Very
be
difficult.
Gen 5 continuing to push.
What about Fakers
try to
T1?
get
They also lose
Regieleki
money?
in. So 0 points lost. They
yeah.
gave away just the EXP for taking
Probably.
Regieleki, which is not that much. You actually get some for taking it back down in return as well. And they managed to take
Probably.
goal zone, more of a points lead, 209 points lead. We were talking about how the early game is going to mean
like,
a lot.
I don't think they care because T1 is like, isn't it like,
I gotta say, Komai is looking really good.
just a
Yeah, they are
sponsor
definitely
for like
thriving off
the
this
company
momentum,
itself?
but we do
Which
have
one is it?
another
Like one of the
Regieleki spawner
telecom
up
companies
here.
in Korea?
Snow flies to the sky, and it ends up actually
Like, I don't
being
think
Utah
they really
that
care
locks
if it loses
down
money.
that Regieleki for the team. So definitely some good experience across the board there for Gen 5. They were quite behind for quite a while, but now we do have Talonflame at
Like
level
SK
13. It's just a
Telecom,
matter of whether
I don't think they
can
care
get
if they lose
one
money
of
with
these other
T1.
members at level 13 before
Like, they literally
this
is-
Rayquaza spawns.
It's a big company
So tough.
behind T1,
I
right?
really
So
would have liked the idea. I
It's
think,
just
of them
advertisements for it.
trying to just rip and flip as soon as Rayquaza spawns. They're in such a tough spot, and look at this now. The positioning from Komai is so good. It's so far forward. They do actually manage to jump into the only place that's not being super covered by Komai right now. Potato was checking that out for vision, but didn't see in that tall grass. Marv now going for a little bit of vision. And there's an attempt for a back cap up here at this tier 1 goal zone. In the meantime, though, they could potentially try to rip down Ray. No, they're going to rotate around.
Wait, just heard you say
and,
Telecom, not
just along
T1?
the- you know what, 100
Wait,
burgers, fine
T1
by
is
me.
SK
Oh,
Telecom.
the Zacian going in for
No?
a ton of damage. Lappert's going down immediately. That's going to be a second KO,
Oh,
third
but what's
KO.
happening? Komai
Komai
losing?
Esport is
Getting
actually
completely destroyed.
melting.
Lapras no
4
Unite,
people
Mickey no
down.
Unite.
Only the Hoopa's up. It's in Unite, but it doesn't even matter. It does manage to get 1 KO on the Talonflame, but it's got to go steal
Potati,
this.
no.
chance with the
Dashing Unite is
Zacian
there.
there. And Gen 5 only behind
Zacian
by
is there.
109 points. 2 or 100 burger, and just a little bit more will be enough.
yeah, they used to be called
Wow,
SKT, but they
they
rebranded
were
to
0
T1. But I think it's
up
still
until
connected
that
to SK
final
Telecom
stretch,
anyways,
and
I
now
think.
they have
But
that chance to
maybe
dunk
not.
on in. A ton of
Is it
points.
still winnable?
356 to 209. A little less than a minute
I mean, they
left
still have
to
3
go.
Unites now.
Komai Esports, 2 members are missing here, but they still have 3 Unite moves on hand if they are to make a last-ditch effort here.
It's actually, I think the biggest comeback potential here would have been if the Hoopa still had their Unite. But
yeah, no, Hoopa's even dead. It's GG.
Being
Give us a Charizard. Do it. Do it. Do Charizard. Something new.
Worked in
Do
their
it.
favor. U-Town
Charizard!
for a Charizard pick?
And what are these team combos though from then? Zacian, Talon, Mewtwo, Charizard, Psyduck.
That's a little bit surprising.
We
We've
meet you
seen
again
a
for
lot of
toast.
surprise picks today. I will
But
say
we have a
I would have to guess
Charizard. Let's go.
Pretty
Can
tough,
Charizard get a
path to
dub?
walk, and pretty confident one to go in
Can it get a dub?
losers
Can we get a dub?
finals match.
Can
the
we
regional
get a
finals.
dub?
So Gen 5
Can
on
we
the left,
get a
Komai
dub?
Esport on the right. And looks like, yep, we
For the
basically
Charizard,
sending
or is Komai gonna come
everybody
back? I mean, at this
where
point,
they were expected.
It makes sense having that.
what do we want, guys?
Charmander down in
3-0,
that
5
bottom
games?
half,
What do we
being
want?
supported by that Mewtwo Y,
For the
who does
time's
have that
sake, 3-0, for,
experience
like,
share, but
excitement,
Marvin Sante waiting for
3-2,
this,
but, like,
middle wild
getting
Pokemon
late.
to spawn on here as we have Snow coming to join the party.
Yeah, there's going to be assistance from the center area player for Gen 5, which is probably
Especially
a sign
for the
they're
team
like,
that wins
we gotta
game 1?
beat Tao
That's
up.
kind
We
of
gotta-
brutal, man.
We gotta get this Charizard.
This doesn't
into
happen in
Charizard
other
that actually
games.
is doing
I feel like it
something.
only happens to
Definitely a
Unite because
late-game
tournaments are so
Pokemon.
barely
It's pretty
structured when it comes to
scary
time.
Be running that in a path up against an Espeon.
So they have, like in any other game, you're like, oh my god, I want more games. Oh my god, best of 5 games. Like game 5 would be the best.
Psyshock target. I think it could be a scary situation right now. The Psyshock's, of course, just going for those Altaria, but
Kinda
you see
weird.
how much it hurt even on
But Unite is
accident
like, just
against
do
that,
3-0.
still is, I think.
Yeah,
I would like
it
5
does,
games there.
quite a chunk of damage, but it also
Just these days are
provides
so
that
long.
stun, allowing for a follow-up. There was no follow-up that time round, so no KOs. Otherwise, it's still 0-0 on the board as we have Zacian and Metang battling it out.
They were for a second, and then just disappeared. Got that free heal. It's going to be I mean,
want
it's
sleep.
a pretty
I
scary
mean-
path, but the full resets from the Hoopa over
Yeah, of
and over
course,
are gonna
but
make it
that's
very
like
hard
a
for,
3-0 is
Gen 5's top
boring,
path to get
right?
any true big KOs. It's going to be
That's not
much,
exciting,
much
a
more
3-0.
difficult. They're going to hurt it a lot, and then it's going to heal, and then they're going to hurt it
I mean, I
a lot,
don't have to
it's gonna
watch,
heal.
but, like,
Might be
yeah,
something that we're gonna
I could
see as
just
well
go.
as 8-minute spawns are about to happen. Perfect time to evolve into the Talonflame for Snow, but going to be playing Fly this time around, which is what they were playing last time. I know we've seen both builds so far today.
We had all members
How about 10 games in Grand Final?
for those 8-minute birds, which
Yeah, I mean, that's
feel
give me
something we
14
haven't
games
really
right now.
Seen much of today.
5 here, 15 and
actually
10 in the
going
Grand
and
Final.
prioritizing that, but so
Make
far
it
we have
14
two
no
level
more.
7s
Let's
on
go.
the side of Komai. Espeon does end up getting its Unite move at level 8, so it's just a matter of whether it can secure any more wild Pokemon.
Another 4 hours of games, let's go.
Go and level up.
Why not?
Pretty slow game. 7 minutes 30, 0 points scored for either team. No KOs, right? Yeah, I don't believe.
No, 0-0-0 across the board. I mean, not
No.
KOs, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, level.
With the first kill of the game right here.
They actually
Potato
cannot
gets
fight
away.
each other.
Potato.
They have
Potato gets
no
away.
No, it kind of feels like that at this
But
point.
Predictions
Nobody's
Flame
fighting each
works?
other.
Yeah, it's it could be it.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
get all the way to
3
7
AM
minutes,
maybe.
all the way to the first objectives, and nobody has done really anything, which doesn't mean that it's a, well, I wouldn't say it's a relatively even game, but levels are actually up for Komai by quite a bit. Komai going to be focusing down
You know
on
what's
the base of
insane?
Reggie,
That
while Gen
emblems
5
have been out for
focusing
2
on
years, and they're
Regieleki.
still not allowed.
They will
2.5
get it,
years.
despite the attempt to steal from
And they're
Potato.
still not allowed in
Able to have
tournaments?
that hyperspace hole bringing in the defender Marv
Almost
along
3 years
with
now.
the rest
That's
of the
crazy,
members
no?
to deal with this Regieleki.
Like, how's that a thing?
Looks
How
like
are
Gen 5
emblems like a
aren't
part of the
actually
game,
gonna
but not of
risk pushing
tournaments? It's
this.
ridiculous.
They're just going to go back and once again farm on up.
Absolute
It's a farming
ridiculous.
simulator.
It is.
Know what's going on.
This is what happens when, like, my teammates...
It should be loud.
my solo queue teammates are just like running into, oh, the first KO! KO opener at 6 minutes and 24 seconds.
Doesn't make any sense. It's not
Yeah,
allowed. Why
I
is
don't
it
know if
like?
that was the first KO because it didn't come up with the little thing, did it?
was that one?
That's the first goal.
Yeah,
first
first
goal
goal.
of 30. There we go. 31
It should
points,
be
and we
allowed
have
in
Snow.
tournaments.
Also
Emblems should be
number
allowed.
4
It doesn't make any
points,
sense. It's not
leading
allowed.
this 14.
Yeah, who got KO'd earlier? I don't feel like I remember
I don't
anybody getting KO'd.
We could have certain
But,
emblems.
hey, maybe I just
Well, it sucks for you then.
Finally, we're seeing some action. 6 minutes into
How
the
you
game.
tournament play and don't have every
the
emblem at some
farming
point,
obviously is
like-
super important. And I actually think that
It's the same as
like,
asking, what if
the
you
way
play a
that
card game and you just
neutral
don't have the
Pokemon
card and you want to
spawn and
compete?
the way that you have to
Well,
fight
it
for
sucks
them
for
is
you then if you don't have the
best parts
card,
of
then
Pokemon
pay
Unite.
money.
That was a great eject button into the Woodhammer. Megu still
The card
up
game, like,
somehow.
the competitive
Finally
card
goes
gamers
down
complain,
despite
I don't
being
have this
engaged
card,
upon in a
guys. I
beautiful
can't
way.
compete.
I think they were hoping there was a few more people in that tall grass, but they managed to at least take down Megu definitely worth the cooldown on that eject button. And another KO going to the side of Komai Esport, but they weren't able to push down any of that goal zone yet.
No, still no points for Komai just yet, so great defense coming
Hey guys,
out
I
from
can't play
Gen
table
5.
tennis. The
One
other
thing I
guy
do
has
notice
some
is
that
they
is
have
like
all
500
Unite
euros
moves
more
on hand,
expensive.
but there is still 25 seconds left to go until
Like every
both of these
equipment in any
objectives
sports and
spawn.
esports
So
can make
whether
difference.
they're actually just going to hold on tight, wait in the tall grass, whether they're going to go in for an early engagement here. I mean, that Charizard Unite move, I'm intrigued to see how impactful it's going to be come this next fight.
Yeah, if they can find the right target, it's going to be huge. Also, thank you, production. I got word that the first KO of the game was Mimikyu KOing, I think it might have still been Charmander at that point, but whatever evolution it was at that point, which I didn't see happen, if I'm being 100% honest. So, Charmeleon.
Not much happening, but there is still a lot happening at the same time.
Yeah, they could just make every emblem bronze or something, or gold. Like they just make your entire page gold. But some good emblems are bad, that's also a thing, so some emblems you don't want to have in gold.
105 to 84.
So, but yeah, I mean,
as we pivot on up,
it shouldn't matter, like between bronze and gold, like...
Regieleki towards tier 2.
This is such a
Or just
respectful
remove.
game. They're not challenging
Make
each
them all
other's
the same.
objectives. They're not
I don't
fighting
know.
all that
Like,
much.
don't have a good bronze
not
emblem.
To push in the Regieleki
Jesus, man.
Regieleki's happen. Oh, Unite actually happening down in the bottom path, so this is going to be an
bronze,
aggressive
yeah, would also
play.
be fine.
They are going to be trying to push down this tier 1 gold zone. Not that many members here to
There's
defend.
all bronze,
all
that's
being
fine, yeah.
distracted by
But
that
like, they should be
Regieleki.
allowed.
And finally, we are actually going to see Gen 5 rotate all the way down. It looks like they don't have.
I mean, the emblem blame is such. The emblem system could be so cool.
Away at least.
I feel like
one member to be able to get
the emblem
that
system could have been so much fun, but they just missed it.
So the first time that we see a hyper-aggressive play, and I would say it maybe backfired just slightly.
Yeah, backfired. The fact that
I don't know if China's emblem system is better. I have no idea.
Out there, not able to get in any dunks.
But they also have emblems, but it's different, much different.
But
I don't know if it's better or worse than ours. I have no idea.
Charizard and a Zacian at level 12, where the highest level on Komai is level 11s. I mean, 3 of them.
I don't know if I get it either.
If you have a hyperscaler like Charizard, you really don't want them to be higher level than your entire team. You want them to be lower. Unfortunately, that's just not where we're at. So I have to imagine this is going to be a pretty good end game for
you? I have no idea. Again, I don't know what Chinese emblems do.
Amount, and then they team wiped last game. So we will see if they reverse can happen to them. Not that I'm hoping for that to happen, but it could.
Well, we can see 20 seconds left to go until Regieleki. We do have another set of birds. Chases on a great stun coming out from
they changed that, I think. I think that was at some point.
No,
didn't hate items China have different stats, but they removed
doing
it.
a little bit of damage, but both the Metagross and
maybe
the
not
Zacian
anymore.
backing on up.
I remember that items had different stats in China. We had like 3 muscle bands.
Even though I say they're going for it,
That was bad, but they changed it, I think.
I mean, Zante could potentially try to Psyshock steal, and it looks like that might happen.
Yeah, that was like every muscle band could have different stats. Wasn't it a thing? Or am I? Maybe I'm misremembering. But I think that was the thing.
Regieleki and all of its friends, the Eos energy on the ground.
Regieleki so lonely here today. I mean, 13
I
seconds
played
left
on the.
to go.
I don't know.
Looks like nobody's
Maybe I
going to actually
misremembered, yeah.
prioritize that. But we do
Is this
have
over or
Narami.
not?
They do
What do you mean it's
have the
over?
Unite move to go and
It's like
bring
they're
in
playing.
Komai
Just your eyes,
while
thank
they're
you.
currently spread out.
That's huge.
At least I didn't have to tell him
When they
that,
use it's
so I
gonna
can't be
so
the toxic
impactful.
one.
And there we go. We get to see the Rayquaza HP, which, of course, the other two we're talking about, goes up over time, so you don't need to be confused about it. I'm always confused about it, but it's cool that we get to see the actual numbers as they go up, which is something you don't get a chance to see in the normal game.
No, it is really, really cool. But so far, 20 seconds have passed in this final stretch. No one has made a move. I can see on the mini-map,
Everyone is being
is making
Ray's losing HP
towards that top tier 2 pad, and Gen 5 have
We can see it on the bottom that Ray's losing HP. How nice.
Closer towards Komai. Who's going to make the first move here? Zante on the Rayquaza.
That's doing so much damage to it.
Gets 60 points in. They're still behind, and now there's a 1v1 up in that top northwest path. But right now, the fight's going to be happening in the center. A huge amount of damage coming out from
They
Gen
use
5.
Mewtwo Unite. They kind of have to like go on this now after using Mewtwo Unite.
There's not going to be any chance for them to heal. A lot of members going back. Gen 5 has the opportunity to try and burn down this Rayquaza if they want to. No, they're just going to be hunting around for more targets. I think they maybe feel like they're still in the lead. They don't feel like they're moving with any sort of pressure yet.
But the pressure is on because it's only a 3 points difference between these two teams. We can see that Metagross tried to make an attempt at a back cap there, but that means 2 members of Komai ended up getting taken down. Rayquaza super duper low, and it ends up being Gen 5 to lock it on down.
Megu once again securing so many objectives over the day.
Weird. Komai, no chance he's late in team fights, no chance. They just get completely wiped in every late game fight.
That's going to be a ton of points.
Oh my god.
What do we have here? Suicune, Memo, Elgos? That's TFT. No, that's wait, Suicune doesn't exist in Auto Chess yet, right? No, it doesn't. Oh, Suicune isn't even out in China, right? Is it? I don't think it is.
The fact that this ended up getting
Zacian,
later
Hoopa,
on
Raichu,
is
Talon.
really interesting. Whether it's been as impactful, I mean, I feel like it's been really hit or miss.
There's Potato Garchomp. Okay, now he brings it out. I was like, earlier, not even Potato plays Garchomp.
I'm really
but
excited
look
to
at
see
that.
This. I
There
mean,
it
they
is.
do want that,
Putting all hope into
main
it.
outfit once again, so
Into the
they have to
reverse
make
sweep.
this Garchomp look spectacular.
And last pick
I
here,
think.
again, the
You
tank
know, 'cause like
Tyranitar.
Oh, Tyranitar again.
All right.
I mean,
so,
the fight is fun to watch though today with their picks. At least they're making it interesting.
We also have the classic
Right?
almost kaiju battle here of the
Gen 5 is entertaining
Tyranitar
today,
versus the
so
Garchomp.
gotta give it
That's
to them.
cool to see.
It's currently on
Okay.
the board, but
So,
red
what do we
headed
have
on
now?
in
We
here.
have
Komai on the purple side,
Game 3.
Gen 5 on the orange.
I do
XP
like this
share,
draft.
Raichu
a lot,
again?
though, from Komai, and I mean, part of it is just because it's like a fun draft for sure.
Sorry
but
to sneeze.
The fact that they have Suicune is very, very good. I really want to see what this Tyranitar is
Played
gonna
while
do.
watching it? Yeah, I think that's a bit too
Kind
much.
of done talking about this draft, but yeah, it looks pretty okay the last time that we saw it.
Chris saying
Pretty
should never go
okay
lane
is not what you
Tyranitar?
want in a
I
tough
don't say
situation.
that,
No,
actually.
you want pretty good. I feel if you are to go.
He's not in my
and take
lowest
a
tier for
quick
lane,
clean sweep
actually.
up
He's in the
against
second
Komai
lowest tier.
here. Otherwise, we do have experience share on this.
I did say you can play with XP share in lane if you have an XP share partner.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know. We need to figure out a name for
I've
what
said
to
this.
call the Pikachu that is Alolan Raichu is going to evolve. Because it's not technically Alolan Pikachu, right?
No, it's just a Pikachu, I believe, but we do have some action up in the top half.
Toast is toast.
Ends up getting obliterated there. So not able to secure any. Pokemon Potato has evolved into that Gabite and able to get that Dragon Rush to go and secure.
Your brain is melting. Your Gatlu, you have to play entire grand final. You know that, right, Gatlu? Take a nap or something. 20-minute power nap fast. Go.
Like evolved once. I mean, Gibble's not bad, but
20-minute power nap.
especially getting to that Eldegoss
Get your
is
brain
gonna be
refreshed,
pretty important
Gatlu.
Considering the fact they're up against the path that has no evolution needs. And so it looks like Komai's doing pretty
Gatlu
decent
won't
up
wake
there.
up?
The fact
Okay,
that
never
they're,
mind. Down. No.
I mean, their level
Play.
6s are both very strong carries right now.
Oh.
It's kind of even across the board because you do have that
Just play
Gabite
for him? Bro,
that
I'm
eventually needs
even
to
worse
evolve
than
into
his
that
state right
Garchomp
now.
and Mammo Swine as well that needs
I'm
to
worse.
evolve, whereas Pupitar needs to evolve into Tyranitar, and we still need a Talonflame, but we do have those birds getting wiped on out, and the first goal of the
Well,
match
Andrew.
goes to the side of Gen 5 with 23 points from that Pupitar.
It's funny that we're seeing more aggression and more KOs now in a game where both sides really need a lot of evolution still. And then in the other game where everybody was at like max power, the last game, nobody was doing anything. Like the fact that we just saw the Pikachu from the Alolan region, that's what I'm gonna start calling it, just get into a fight with the Pupitar.
Oh, Gatlu, maybe Blaine can play.
It was just a
Where is he?
Piloswine. It's like, okay, we're all being very aggressive very early right now. And in fact, a Piloswine going in, there's 3 members of the other team right there.
Does Blaine even play Unite
Scary.
still?
Marv getting chased down, that's going to be a lot of points in.
Yeah, and we can confirm it is
Fine,
going to
Gatlu,
be
you just have to win
a
3-0 and it's all good.
From Snow here to get that dive, that massive burst, but also a potential for a steal on objectives. But 5 seconds left to go until
Stored
these
power
first
again.
objectives spawn for this match.
Stored power with XP share. I want to cry. I want to cry. Oh, Brave Bird goes in, he gets it.
Quick, and it's going to be not the Brave Bird, but like an auto, I think, was what took that.
It was a basic attack, but they did end up getting taken down amongst the fray.
Raichu served, and
you do
nice
have
fight, of
Lunda
course.
being able to eject on out back to safety.
Actually,
They
got
do
on.
have double berry, so back at full HP. Meanwhile, we do have Mega on the Zacian solo dealing with this Regieleki.
Yeah, they're just hanging out. Must have gotten more than enough points in. If this goes in, which, oh, it's so close. Oh,
I'm so
wow.
lucky you leave me alone, bro.
They were
Blaine's
not there in time to be able to
crazy.
Stop that, but there is going to be a fight before any of that happens. They're going
But
to
the
get
tank
a few extra
Tyranitar, though,
KOs,
OP.
it looks like,
Bop.
while they're actually
Bop.
scoring.
Wait, he's
They gotta
missing,
do some
okay.
quick math, only 15 seconds left on this, but this should be a huge overdunk. Looks like it's going to be, oh, they actually choose
I feel like
to give it to
Potato
the
doesn't even
Alolan
believe in
Raichu.
Garchomp anymore. He just
Less
picked
points,
it out to
but
pick
they're
it.
trying to prioritize
Oh,
that,
nice
and we
Suicune
are gonna
Unite.
see the ice from the
Santi?
stone. Oh my goodness, that actually hit.
Oh, the combo
That was
got
like the
cancelled.
longest range range for a single
Challenge
hit
that, though.
flame sweep that I maybe have ever seen.
Yeah, the way that just connected, they weren't
Komai seems to be
able
outclassed,
secure a KO,
yeah.
so they ended up getting KO'd themselves.
Yeah.
But we do have level 9s across the board here for Komai. So Garchomp and Leafeon with their Unite moves so far. No Unite moves for
No
Gen
nachos,
5 as they
guys.
did end
There's
up
just no
utilizing their
nachos.
resources up in that top path.
Look how
What can you
aggressive
do?
everybody seriously is being. Also, that is a ton of damage from this Tyranitar. That is actually looking pretty good. I was talking about last time that we saw the Tyranitar that I was expecting it was because there was a lot of shielding on the other team, but that's not what we're seeing this time. However, it's still doing
Komai
massive
looked good at
amounts
an
of damage.
AIC, but
Oh,
Komai
yeah,
was
the
like
Garchomp
4
now
different
starting
players.
to,
This Komai
be,
has nothing to do with the
gigantic
Komai
threat
at
as well.
UIC,
So
right?
cool
Like
to see
nothing.
Potato on this. Ooh,
Except
good
for
choice to leave.
Sante?
I think that was very heads up.
I think,
to just
right?
go
I don't know,
bait
Post,
on
did
out, see
Toast?
if anybody was
No.
going to defend
Did
that.
Marth
They
play?
are
No.
going to walk away with
There was only
full coverage,
Xante,
unable
Xante from
to empty out their
UIC.
AOS
Everyone else
energy,
is
but we
new,
do
so
have another basement Reggie spawning on up shortly.
they didn't play
This
UIC.
is probably going to be a pretty big fight, although there's
Actually,
still two
wait.
members up top
Oh
from
yeah, no,
Gen 5,
Nirami. No, wait, the
they may
support.
only
Right,
attempt
right.
to steal this away here.
Okay,
They're
3.
actually
Never mind.
pretty
Sorry.
heavily committing, considering the fact there's only 3 of them. They do have some great steal potential. But I'm surprised that Kamai's
Didn't they
not
have
really
Sayu
engaging
too?
at all.
Bro, I don't
They
even know
only
what
have the
Sayu
numbers
does.
advantage, I think, or maybe they don't. But we're going to be going in with the Tyranitar. It's going to have to back up. Looks like instead it's focusing some
Can you even
damage
play
on
this
Regieleki.
now,
It's actually
like-
not going to go all that far. Yutao, though, doing a good amount of damage to some of the tankier members as we're going to see the Unite bring everybody back in from that Hoopa. And it's going to be Zacian once again securing objectives.
Yeah, I think that was with the Unite move as well. as we
Sayu
have seen
was in
time and
Komai,
time again with a
Then
Mega.
joined Gen
Otherwise,
5 for one
Marth is
tournament
caught
or
in a
2, then
pickle,
joined
pickle,
Komai
and
again and
able
left after one
to
tournament
heal on
again
up enough and
to make his
escape
own
that dicey
team.
situation.
Problem is, those players were
But
banned,
we
so now
saw
he doesn't have a
both
team, I
flying in
think.
the air from the return.
I don't
my
know.
goodness,
I don't know
was
anymore, bro.
hilarious.
There's something wrong with
But
lines.
Yeah, that was a really nice win there for Gen
No
5.
idea, man.
You have to say they're looking to be
I'm not fully
in the
caught up either
lead,
on the drama and
pretty
stuff.
solidly across the board. Still a few minutes left for farming and such, but they're looking pretty good to try and end this set very quickly.
I don't know if
earn
he even
their
played this
rematch.
region
Not to
it's
say
now.
it's
Did he
over.
play
It's never
somewhere?
over in Pokemon Unite until it's over.
No, it's that final stretch. I mean,
Not sure if
we
Sayu
thought
played
we'd
this
see it
tournament
last time
anyway.
around with the rip and flip. Komai Esports, well, that might have to be the
Pretty sure he's
answer
banned.
coming
Sayu
into
also
this next
banned?
match. But one thing that did
Oh, he
get
also
written down
account
is
shared,
this
right? Didn't he, or
Regieleki
something?
heading towards that tier 2 pad.
But I forgot, like, all the
Utah
French
scoping
players
on
account
out,
shared
but
at
it
some
looks
point
like
this
Komai
season,
Esports
so
are
bro, I don't
aware
even know
of this
anymore, or last
push
season.
that's about to come towards them.
The good question is, can they defend
Oh,
against
Super Unite?
it? Maybe some damage. Unfortunately, it looks like Mamoswine is going to be the first one to fall. There's just so much damage on the side of Gen 5. Eldegoss going down as well. That's your entire like support and defender line. Now
Post
only
gets almost
Zante
enough.
there, who's doing a pretty good job of fighting them off, but just
They
the
have a hard time
1v5
dealing with this
certainly
Trinitar.
not enough to be able to stop that.
Potato always
2-1
said,
goal zone now
Garchomp
gone
into
for the
Trinitar's
final
unplayable.
stretch. The score lead is going to jump up to 120 points, which is pretty big. Again, bigger than one Hundo Burger.
Oh my gosh, I just saw on the mini-map Leafeon attempting to dunk in 50 points, but we ended up having Megu being able to make it there, interrupt that 50 dunk, and get the KO. But we do have Marv getting yoinked on back by that Sand Tomb. Just as a little warning from that level 13 Tyranitar.
Yeah, it's like,
I think
hey,
I'll just
by
pick
the way,
Garchomp
just
for
remember,
Potato, just pick
here,
Garchomp. He's like, just give me
win,
Garchomp. They
now
outclassed
setting it up
anyways.
around the
I think
red
it's
ice. You
fine.
don't want to get all that close, and Komai, I don't know. This is scary.
It's
You're
just
close
like,
enough
we're
that
down
the
to
KO
0,
here
just
is
pick Garchomp.
huge.
Oh,
He gets
They
it!
do manage to steal it, and Potato managing the Dragon Rush away as well, but gets pulled back in by Yutao.
Oh, this could be a fight,
and now
right here.
they're
They can
kind of
take this,
in
maybe.
fight.
Oh.
Actually, a great attempt
Great
to
foot missed
help them
completely.
escape from Zante.
Problem
and
is,
no
Leafeon is on that
KOs
side of the
will
map.
actually happen. There's actually not only 4 members here, too.
But if
as
Leafeon
well
was there,
from
could have maybe
Komai, as we see
taken a
the
fight
Leafeon
here.
up in the top path.
Yeah, Leafeon is up in the top path, hiding out in that L bush, but we do have the trick going and replenishing the HP from Yutao. But 142 to 216
if Leafeon was there, they could have maybe done something. Goth Bravefoot completely missed too.
All Unite moves on hand. Komai Esports are slowly poking at this Rayquaza, hoping Gen 5 will take the bait.
Ooh, this is so scary. They do manage to freeze Yutao. Oh, they could have maybe jumped there, got a little bit more, but they choose not to fully engage. They're scared. They're trying to find, well, not scared, I should say. They're being wary. That's a much better word. That makes it sound like they're not terrified, but a great engage. Everything coming out from Komai all at once. That's going to be a little Raichu
I
going
hate
down
European Little
first,
Raichu
and-
so
oh
much.
my goodness. That was a huge amount of damage to the whole group of Komai Esport, but the AoE damage is not quite enough as they're slowly getting picked off on the side of Gen 5.
They're still winning, even with
Rayquaza
this.
still still at completely full health. 2 members down. There's still a minute left. Komai has to make a decision here. Do they want to try to burn this down, try to flip it?
It was a great engage from Muff, though. I mean, it was a great engage.
So much damage by the fact that Garchomp isn't there. That might have been a much, I don't know, juicier perspective if they were able to actually have that auto attack damage. But instead,
like, there's no word you can tell me with these basic attack style power can do more than Electro Ball in these games. Like, you can't tell me that.
So there is a chance for a
even just for the area you gain just by Electro Balling on the ground.
To chunk out so much
the stun you get from level 13 on the other move. Like,
on the clock.
I mean, it's not level 30 anyways because he's playing XP share, but...
To make a comeback,
so why are you playing XP share with stored power, though?
They're going to make it on through to the grand finals.
Oh, it's getting burned down. This might end up as a flip.
Now.
No members of any of these teams down. It's going to come down to who gets the final hit.
Komai gets it.
Oh my gosh, Komai,
Wait, they won.
It's a big Squeaker and Zante to lock it on down.
Wait,
so there is still a chance, but the countdown, 7 seconds left to go.
Let's go, Komai.
Down. No one is
get another game, guys.
The other Pat, so they're
Who's
not
excited?
able to utilize these Rayquaza shields.
I think they managed to get the score right before it happened. So they didn't score with Rayquaza shields, but I think they managed to back cap and get that lead. We're going to have to see the official score. But I do think that they went up to 300 before that fight actually happened. And here we go. 316 for Komai.
100 points difference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We can breathe a sigh of release for all those Komai fans out there because they are still in this competition.
Yeah, this is
competition. Nice.
Super accurate, as you can see on the other side.
Game 4. Never mind. No game 4 yet.
There we go.
Or it is the draft. I don't know. Maybe we're in the draft. I can't tell.
Oh,
Potato Garchomp again. Komai, Blissey, Mamo, Pikachu, Garchomp, Decidueye. It's crazy how they just have 4 like
Pikachu, so that should be
E-tier Pokemon though.
Very aggressive Pokemon.
Gen 5 has Super Metagross, Raichu, Aegislash, and Psyduck.
What I was interested in is Snow on the Aegislash, who we haven't had a chance to see, but I feel like Aegisty games at this point. It's forfeit, and that's a bigger problem.
Wait, what happened? What question marks? What happened?
I was going to say Gen 5 already did that earlier on. I think they've learned from
their
mistake there, so likely not to see that.
Was that camera? Oh, you didn't see the full zoom of camera yet, or what? Yeah, they have a global camera. They can look at the entire game.
The Rowlet who has
it's crazy, right?
Red buff, but that's not going to stop them. They're going to try and take this.
Was invading?
Yeah, I would love to
keep seeing
basically invade until the end. That's looking pretty successful.
Where have you been, Twerf? Where have you been?
Able to get any of the
enjoying your Saturday or what? Crazy.
Buff available, and they are able to steal it. What a nice steal from Sazuro. I mean, red buff would have been even a little bit nastier, but hey, you take away any of that.
Can we just qualify Gen 5 for all these shiny sprays?
Still going to be keeping the Chansey over
honestly.
Level 3, not able to get a Blissey. And they're going to score as well, right in their face. Everything about that was insulting.
It's not
can we just
Chansey that's at bay,
can we just qualify Gen 5?
Into that Dartrix,
who's up for it? Raise your hand.
Wild Pokemon ended up going over the side of Gen 5. KOs Wild Pokemon. I mean, they already have 2 level 5s.
They deserve to get banned for the shiny spray overusage.
And especially, I mean, yeah, both sides now. Actually, Aegislash up at 6 already.
That's annoying.
That's a scary Pokemon. I'm
it's just a Hoopa in the enemy jungle. It's a Hoopa in the enemy jungle.
Pikachu, or sorry, the old Raichu.
The spray's bigger than Hoopa's.
Yet, currently Pikachu.
It is a Raichu.
The shiny spray looks
good.
good.
They're Raichu on that side. The Pikachu on the Komai side. Okay,
it's
so
way too much.
I'm already getting confused.
There's a Hoopa in my jungle.
It's going to happen a lot now that we have 2 Pikachus. But anyway, I don't really feel like there's a great counter to the Aegislash. Maybe they can catch it some of the Pikachu CC when it's not in some sort of defensive form, and then it's just not able to get escaped. But we'll see when it actually starts fighting.
I really feel like this is a different look from Gen 5. The previous sets that we've seen.
They can't kill Hoopa? With what? Like, of course they can't kill Hoopa. With what?
Zero pretty much living in the enemy central area.
The Dartrix?
Multiple KOs for the side of
oh,
Gen
they're
5.
killing it.
They're already up 66 points to 0.
That's looking pretty good, gotta say. It's also
who's going to kill it?
Scaling comp from the side of Komai Esport. 3 Pokemon that have a 3-stage evolution, and currently they're at only one of them, which is going to be that Decidueye. So they've got to wait a little bit longer until they're strong, but certainly you can only wait so long to actually fight your way back into the game, which is something we've seen before not work out, and it seems like Gen 5's taking great advantage of it.
Well, there is a limited time in a match of Pokemon Unite, but one thing that is also ticking down on the clock is this basement Reggie. What is it going to be? But a Wall and Raichu, a great Ice Fang from Marv there to wipe him on out.
Yeah, didn't even get a chance to be a part of that fight, basically. And we still haven't found a way for this Aegislash to engage. Right now, it's just a lot of Spirit Shackles
with the
all the time. Unfortunately,
Up
right now
top
they're,
lane.
getting blocked a little bit by
Hello.
this pip, so we can see where the snipe shots go. Actually lands
Solo
a
bolo.
double on Sazero and Utao. Registeel's still pretty healthy, but it's going to be scary. Snow just waiting for an opportunity to try to dive in.
Registeel,
They
Regieleki
Snow
Ignite
is
gets
there.
it.
The coup de grace will be the finisher. That
Lean
Unite's so good
by
at getting those
Snow.
secures, and weird back and forth. Definitely
Played with level
a great
9 now.
secure from Gen 5.
Yeah, that is
And
just gonna
Regieleki also
scale
went
them
in.
up ever so higher here.
And he might even keep
but that
Metagross
does
again.
mean Gen 5 don't have any resources over on
Botark
the
is
side. They do
huge.
have a guard jump and a Decidueye that have Unite moves on hand.
Already. This seems... I guess this game's going kind of fast. Kind of feels like it's still early, but this is definitely the point where they are starting to pop off. Let's steal away I think a wild Pokemon right now, that Spirit Shackle. Maybe it didn't. I definitely saw some points dropping, but Sazero very barely escaping that Spirit Shackle. That was a scary spot. They're just gonna go back. You gotta make sure you're not walking around too low, getting too risky when you're against a Decidueye, or you will pay for it.
Yeah, well, we do have Toast just poking away at a distance. Potato unable
Wait,
to
he just lost one
lock
entire level.
anybody
What
down
happened?
in that Dragon
I had to
Rush,
write
so
something.
He's gonna circle
What
back
happened?
around, recalibrate, see
Hey, what
the
happened? Why is
next
Metagross
moves
level
are
10
gonna
now,
be,
and he's
it
level
might be
9?
down
What
the bottom
happened?
half.
There is an absurd
What
amount of chaos
happened?
energy on the ground in this map for some reason.
He
Nobody's
dead?
really scoring, I guess, is the
No,
big
he
reason
died.
why. And
He
there we
died?
go. There's the dive. Goes for one. Isn't able to get the second. And the teleport back. That's something that we haven't had a chance to see a lot. It's Trick Hoopa alongside
No, Metagross level 11. Oh, boy.
Can dive in
He's
so
going forward.
deep
The
if
last
they
is on
want
top
to.
right, too.
And actually almost stopped the back there.
He is
from guard jump,
invading.
but Sazero will teleport back. Oh, no. Gets punished for it.
But we did have a dunk up in that top path, so that tier 1 pad has been deleted, and it was actually not a bad
Owl
overtime
gets
as well.
farmed.
120 points to 50 as we reach that halfway mark. We do have Zante on the Pikachu and the Blissey trying to stop these goals, but both Sazero and Utah able to empty out their Aeol's energy.
That's huge. I mean, being able to build their point lead finally, that's going to be a point lead and a level lead, and now this is going to decide a lot with this fight, but that's going to be Komai Esport getting the first KO of it.
Right, they make all Righteous look useless.
Usually pretty difficult to take out, but the damage is so
I think Stored
significant.
Power in
Unite
these
gets
games is not
popped by Sazero.
playable.
Everybody could potentially come
I
back
think it's so
through that
difficult to
once
play
they
basic
respawn,
attack
I should say,
Pokemon in
just the
these
Metagross,
comms,
but
in
Unite
these
coming in
games.
From the guard chomp as well. Not going to be able to take out the Aegis/Snow. Using the defense options very well, barely able to escape. They are
I
going to
think
get
if you don't
back, but
pocket
still,
for
the
it very
Threat Drop
hard,
is
I
alive.
mean, they have a
Coup de
trick
grace
buddies this
available.
time, I
We're certainly
guess.
saving it for right
Okay,
now.
it's doing a lot now.
Oh,
Raichu's
it's
doing a lot
actually
now.
the
Raichu
Alolan
popping off.
Raichu.
I guess
Maybe?
when the sword
Yeah,
ends
okay, that was a good fight for
Raichu
Raichu.
is there to
That was
have
nice.
your back. So another objective going over to the side of Gen 5, but HP bars are quite
I think it's very
low.
difficult to
Knockback
play it in
is
these
gonna be
games,
popped
like
out,
with
but
Star
that isn't gonna
Power.
stop Snow
You have to
here
walk so
from
far to
diving
even
into that
basic
flop
attack.
zone, popping that wide guard to get that stun on Zante, but they didn't end up getting the KO. They ended up getting KO'd themselves.
I think they actually missed the Sacred Sword right there, the last one that would have been the KO. That's really unfortunate, but it was a really nice dive. Also really funny to see Snow just standing
And the best part is we had an
behind
18k
the
damage
knock-knock
Raichu today.
activation. Like, just standing the opposite direction, like, yep.
Which
I'm
team
gonna
was
wait
it?
for you to end
LFD?
this before I attack you. because I go through you when I
18,000
attack,
damage.
and I do not wanna
18,
walk
not
into
80,
that damage.
18.
But in
Damage
the end, it
Raichu.
might work out. Still, though, like, I mean, that was one
Running
KO
Stored
from
Power.
almost like 3.
Against literally
You can see how
unplayable, like,
effective that is. It's just that was a
but even
weird
then, still 18k
So
damage.
far, it is
18.
a pretty even match in terms of levels. 3 level 12s on the side of Gen 5. We do have the 3 level 12s now on Komai Esports, but another Regieleki secure is going to go to the side of Gen 5. And while they do have the points advantage for Komai Esports, they need to deal with this.
A lot of points potentially going in down on that bottom path, all stopped by a Alolan Raichu. Very, very nice. There were a lot of 50 in pockets right there. But now it looks like they're actually going to try to turn things around, try to take on tier 1 goals.
Metagross Ignite stunned.
Sazero is going to have enough of
Oh
really
boy,
small
this Metagross
overtime,
was
but
huge.
tier 1 goals on
Bro, my
going down
advertisement,
right before
sorry for the
final stretch.
advertisements, guys.
It's gonna
It's
build
such
their
bad
lead to
timing on it. I'm too
100
tired to pay attention to it.
points, which is going to be, again, bigger
Just
than
subscribe,
Hunter
lol.
Burger. Why is Marv over there? What happened? How did that situation come to be? They will get KO'd. It'll, I guess, lower their
Oh god,
respawn
playing
timer.
advertisements.
If they
Oh
get KO'd
no.
one more time. Not the worst thing in the world.
Oh no,
It's already
I'm sorry.
really low here anyway. Otherwise, it's just a matter of
I'm
figuring
so
out,
bad.
do we want to go get positioning here, or we have another basement Reggie free for the taking for Gen 5. What is it going to be?
I feel
Oh,
bad.
that's juicy.
I should pay
Already
attention
still
to it.
coming to the final stretch.
Yeah, and they're burning it down so quickly. They've got this for sure.
That's a fast ready steer.
We actually see Metagross up pretty close. Yeah, Megu just
what
kind
can
of
Komai do right here? Can there someone pull this off?
This buff is huge. Again, this could be
Can
the
there someone
final
pull it off?
Rayquaza fight of this set. We're either going to a Game 5 or Gen 5 is moving forward. And this is
You need to
looking
jump
pretty
it from
even. I
overall.
gotta
It's so
say,
cool,
levels,
this view,
slight
though.
advantage for Gen 5.
So
They've got the
fast.
buff as well, but
This is heaven
it's only a
POV,
one level
yeah.
difference. And they've hit that 13 mark for most of Komai Esport's damage dealers, so I really like where they're at as well.
Well, while they may have the levels, my esports don't have the points. They only have 50 points on hand, so they need to go in and get a big pick. Mega
grows into it completely.
Right on out. And now they're going in for an engage with more Unite. Livid Outrage from this Garchomp isn't actually going to connect to anybody.
It's gonna rip right now.
And the Unite comes down so they can teleport back
Gets
out of
his dead,
damage.
but Sigilwise, Regieleki, Bliss Assistant! Wait, you gets it somehow.
Once again, Gen 5 are going to take
okay.
that. 2 members still up on the side of Komai Esport, 4 members up on the side of Gen 5, and they're not in a position to be able to try and defend.
Well, here we go again. Now it's against Gen 5 in the grand
That's
final.
really the
Here we go again.
Further, Mamoswine up